Okay, so this is our refresher for the TD Summer Reading Club that runs every year, but I know we get a lot of turnover for who is hosting it at our libraries, so we like to go through it each year. And there's always going to be a few changes that TD likes to throw in as well. So I am Penelope Dolphin, and I work in the LDS department at YRL as a library technician. And I am the one who has been managing all the materials orders for the last couple of years. So all the notebooks, stickers, and that kind of stuff. First, I want to take a quick look at the two websites as they tend to change each year. So we're going to start looking at the staff site. I'm going to pull it up here. And hopefully you should see the staff site now. Oh, doesn't want me to have that up. Okay. So the staff site is where any staff who are running the TD Summer Reading should check out. It has all the information you need, as well as downloads, resources, activities, and everything else you can use to run your program. So it's got a couple tabs. About just explains the actual program. So if you've never done it before, it might be a good read. And then the TDSRC brand is them talking about the TD brand and how it's evolved. But the main tabs you're going to want to look at is the Run the Program tab. So you can see that it's broken into more tabs along the side here, but this is pretty much got all the links you need. So it's got links to the print materials, the dates. It's got justification for it if any patrons are asking about the point of it. It's got links to templates and stuff. So this is pretty much a catch-all of running through the entire program. And it has links to other parts of the site all held in one place, which is very handy if you're just quickly trying to find something. And then it also explains how the kids website will look. So we will look at the kids website in a moment. It won't be fully posted until June 9th, so it's not going to look exactly the same, but it also has all that information here if you're curious about what the kids website will look like. It's also got a link to an online community if you would like to join a Facebook group, and information about the story walk. So pretty much everything you need to run the program is here. If you want to get a little bit more granular, you can go through these tabs. So the theme just explains what the theme is. So this year's theme is around the world. It's about, going on adventures, meeting new people and places, that kind of stuff. It's just supposed to act as a guide for your program, but again, it kind of stays in the background. Promotion should have links to everything you need to promote it. So it's got a link to the video that you can share. You can share this on social media, or you can share it during a visit. It's got links to the TDSRC social media club, or TDSRC club social media. So you can follow and repost from there. And it's also got information on promoting through your website and as well as in school. So this is really handy. It's got presentations that you can download, as well as prompts you can use and templates if you want to create your own presentation, but using their branding, as well as memos that you can send to school staff. Information on promoting to parents. So they have a memo to childcare centers, as well as promotional materials in different languages. And some more tips about advertising in other places. The print elements of the program has downloadable materials of all the print materials that you guys have ordered. So if you need extra, you can download from here. And it should have links to all of them. Plan for accessibility is great. It's got information on how to make sure that your TD Summer Reading Club is more accessible. So it explains the accessible options that are available. So a webcomic will be available in audio. You can download different fonts for the notebooks, including Braille. And once we look at the activities page, it will also have options for accessibility for all those different programs. And then the final, we will get to submitting statistics at the end, but library awards and the CELA award, these are just the tabs where you can apply to win the awards. So these are worth checking out if you're thinking about applying. And then the other big main tab you'll want to look at is the resources tab. So recommended reads is just a list of all the recommended reads that they've created this year. So this is great if you're wanting to make book lists. Activities is huge. So this is a really great resource. It's got anything from coloring pages, drawing. This is like a little bit of an online game. They've got in-person activities, crafts, all that kind of stuff. And if you open them, it's got really good description of how you would plan a program using this. So any number of participants, you might want to do it indoor with seating. It's got the competency, so this is really good for accessibility. What your patrons will need to be able to complete this. So fine motor skills, some eye-hand coordination, all the materials you'll need, any preparation you'll need to do, and then it actually walks you through whatever the activity is. And then at the end, it also has accessibility considerations. So changes you can make to make it a little bit easier. So you could pre-cut the cup, use specific scissors, etc. And it also links to books in the recommended reads that pair well with this. If you're doing a storytime program, this is really great. And if you really want to dig into it, it's got even more in-depth instructions you can download. So activities is a really great section. I do recommend checking that out. So it'll really help you with planning any programs. And then templates and guidelines. So this is information on how to create designs for TD Summer Reading Club using their brand guidelines. They have templates of posters that you can edit to make more specific to your library, as well as flyer templates, postcard templates, and then templates you can use in social media. So this kind of connects with that promotion page. There's a lot of downloadable templates you can use, even digital ad templates if you're interested. So there is a lot to choose from here. This is a great way to customize any promotion you're doing to make it more specific to your library, just ensuring that when you are customizing, you're following the brand guidelines they set out here. And then images is a link of images that have been created for this year's theme by this year's artist. So these are great to use in things like the PowerPoint presentation that was downloadable or any of the postcards. They also have backgrounds and then some coloring pages and logos. I have made frequent use of these images throughout the PowerPoint presentation, and they are very cute. Okay, program forms are great for keeping track of statistics. We'll talk a little bit more about this during submitting your statistics, but there is a link to a registration form, which gets a lot of the information that they will be looking for at the end of summer. There's also forms to help make it more engaging. So if you want to encourage your patrons to do book reports, you can come up with questions. They want to do a picture report. that kind of thing, as well as additional reading challenges. And the National Film Board films. So this is where you can apply to obtain a copy of these short films that are available. So this is free for you, but you're only able to use it during the reading club period time, and you have to return it at the end of the summer, unless you would like to pay a fee, in which case you can then keep it after that. So you will need to fill out an email to libraries@nfb.ca, and it gives you all the steps you will need to follow to accurately use this without infringing on their copyright. If you have a 3D printer, then there are also 3D print files for you to make extra summer reading swag. And then the other important section of the site is the news. If you want to keep up to date with what is happening when things like the library awards open or stats need to be submitted, these will all be available in this section, and you can also sign up for email updates here, and then it gets sent right to your inbox, which makes it easy to keep track of. This site is also where you would log in if you would like to look at any reports on how the online portion of the kids site is doing. So if you want to get any statistics on that, it is available through this portal. This is also where, if any of you did the ordering this year, you would have already created an account, or your library would have an account, as all the ordering is now through this portal as well on this site. Okay, is there any questions about the staff site? Okay. So like I said before, the kids site isn't fully live yet. It will be launched June 9th. So there's a bit of a shell we can look at right now, but we will go over what is available and what will be available. So right now it looks like this. And it just has a bit of information about the summer reading club, talking it up on the main page. Information on how you can sign up. And then some literacy information for parents to look at to encourage them to help with literacy. Also, apologies if anyone can hear. I think they are mowing lawns outside me, despite it being fully raining. There is a link to program materials. So again, it's just exactly the same as the staff site. If anyone wanted to download or find accessible ones, they could do it from here. There's more information about accessibility just from the patron standpoint. So this is about, again, the materials, and then how to support your child with literacy, especially if there needs to be accessibility considerations. There's also a link to the top recommended reads. So again, they can see information about all the books in this list. And then a link to the artists. So this year, the artist is Cornelia Lee, who drew all those beautiful pictures we were looking at earlier. So that's what we can see right now. If you scroll down, it has a little bit of information about what else will be available. This is fairly similar to what we saw last year. So creating an online notebook, not just keeping track in the physical, keeping track online. There will be some ebooks available for them to read. There is a Battle of the Books competition where they can vote for their favorite book and see who comes out on top. They can submit reviews, which are always moderated before they are posted. There will be weekly trivia that they can take part in, and then there'll also be other ways they can engage, like writing stories and jokes. And there will be an original webcomic, and that will also be available in audio. And they can print coloring sheets and see authors and illustrators running readings and workshops. So it's pretty interactive. There's a lot going on in this site. Kids will have to create an account, or they use their web access sticker to have a pre-created account and sign in right away. It's worth taking a look at it once it launches, just to see what your patrons will be seeing, and that way you can help if they have any questions about it. So those are the two sites. I'm going to head back to the PowerPoint now. So we also have print materials. It's not just all online. There still are print materials. These are pretty standard for what we see every year. Sorry, I'm just missing one of them. So there are the pre-reader and the school age notebooks, which I have with me here. And again, they have the new illustrations on them. These notebooks have places for children to sign. For the web access code, they have little prompts that kids can fill out, fun little games and bingo. And then they have these blank pages that kids can fill out with stickers, drawings, listing what they read. These are bilingual, so if you flip to the other side, it will be in French. And they're for school age and pre-reader, so 0 to 5 and then 6+. There are also stickers and web access stickers. So stickers are very popular. They're just in the same art style of this year. And then there are also the web access stickers, which will grant them accounts on the kids site. This year they are doing postcards, which is great because they are not as complicated as the amoragraphs they were doing last year, and they're really cute. Kids can fill them out and hand them to a loved one. Just a little description of what they're reading or where they want to go, that kind of thing. So they're pretty interactive. And then there is also the recommended reads brochure, which has information on all the books. Not all of the books, sorry, on some of the books in the recommended read list. So it's highlighting some of them. And then it's got a little bit of information about the club and some information about literacy available as well in there. So these are great promo materials to hand out. So all of this should be either at your library or on its way to your library. We are still waiting on all of the posters, so those will come a little bit later than everything else, but it should slowly be making its way towards you. So you can also support your summer reading club by sharing these recommended reads and making sure that you have some of these available. These should all be available within Track. And like I mentioned before, they're listed on the staff site as well as the kids site. And then the recommended reads brochure as well. And these are in English and French. On the recommended reads, you can search by age range. So if you're online, you can look at 0 to 5, 6 to 8, or 9 to 12 and sort the books that way. We also have these recommended read lists available on the YRL website, and we created these book lists within our template section. So if you like, you can add this to your website. So it would be under, this is for all you website management heads out here. It's under the content templates section, Yellowhead, reusable content, book lists, TDSRC. So those are available to put on your website. We also have books to help you with your summer programming. So we have professional development titles for building skills and ideas to support your summer programming. available on our website as well. Let's see if this will open for me. Yay. So just lists of all the books we have in our professional development collection that might help you with planning any summer programming that you need, as well as, marketing, designing the programs, talking about literacy, all that good stuff. And then we also, like I said, have the TD recommended reads, and we split them into the ages recommended for them. And if you add one of these to your website, it links directly to TrackPack when someone clicks on it, and they'll be able to put a hold on it. So those are all the books. Another way you can promote TDSRC and integrate it into something you might already be using is Beanstack. So Beanstack also has online TDSRC challenges built in. So these reward participants with fun little badges for completing activities. And they are designed to completely match and use the art that was used for this TDSRC. And instead of logging reading, this is all about doing different activities. So singing, writing a story based off a book. Every time a kid does one of these extra activities, they get a nice colorful badge. And then we also, again, have that recommended reads book list available on Beanstack as well. So everything is super integrated. You can also manage drawings. So if you want to use the TDSRC, but you want to make it a little bit more personal, you can attach a drawing to that just pulls from your library, and anyone who has earned badges in that challenge gets an entry. So this, again, integrates the online with the in-person activities and just can increase more interest. If you need Beanstack access, you can create an account here at www.yrl.beanstack.org, and then just send us a quick email at AskYRL with your email address so that we can give you that staff access. And if you want to learn more about Beanstack, we have a Niche Academy tutorial, and we will be hosting a webinar in about 2 weeks on June 6th, all about creating challenges on Beanstack. So be sure to sign up for that as well. All right. Once the summer reading club is over, we will need to focus on statistics and reporting. So as I showed before, there was that one section labeled submitting statistics, and that is where you will want to go when you're submitting statistics. So this is a short online survey where you report the statistics of everything that happened over the summer. So this is number of registered children by their age group, the number of programs you ran, and the total attendance overall, how many promotional visits you made to schools, day camps, and other locations, and then the total attendance of these visits. And then any testimonials that you have from participants, parents, caregivers, teachers, anything that might link to increased reading. And then overall library satisfaction with the program. So whoever is registered as the contact for the TDSRC program should receive an email when the survey is released. We normally post about it in the newsletter as well. And that will also be listed under the news page, and you should get an email blast from that as well. If you are interested in getting awards or signing up for next year's Story Walk, which is free, you do need to have completed the previous year's survey to be eligible for either of those. So it's really important that you fill it out if you want those extra perks. There are also kids and parents surveys. So you can share these links to the online parents, caregivers, and kids surveys, and these gather data on changes in behavior and attitude. So things like, did kids who joined the club end up reading more? Did they enjoy reading more? Did they feel more confident as readers? Libraries can access these results through that staff portal that I showed you earlier, where you log in. And this is where you check out all the reports in the reports section. So this is also great information for you and your library. And it is really easy to get a lot of this information if you use the registration form that is available on the staff site. So I will just show that to you again to make sure everyone knows where that is. So again, the submitting statistics page. It details everything I just said about this year. The deadline to complete is September 30th. You required to submit it in order to be eligible, and they have a link to the registration form here. So that will capture a lot of the information that is needed for statistics. It opens in an Excel spreadsheet, very easy to use. All right, so that is enough talking from me. It is now your turn if you would like to share. I'm wondering if you have any plans put in place already for this summer and summer reading club. Are there any programs that you're excited to run? And do you have any questions for YRL, me, or any of the other libraries who are here with us today in the chat? I am also happy to unmute anyone who would like to use their real voice, but no pressure. Good question, Kyle. I think in the, Kyle asked, the registered point of contact, can that be updated through the summer, or is it static with who ordered our materials? So I believe that would need to be changed through that first account, whoever ordered the materials. You would need to change the contact information in that account. But you should be able to change the information and who is actually receiving those emails. No worries. These online accounts are pretty new. They were just added last year, and there was a lot of confusion around ordering materials, I know. So they are very, also the support at TDSRC has been very helpful and are very happy to make any changes if they need to do any admin changes on their part as well. And they're pretty quick to respond. Is there any other questions that anyone might have? If you have any questions as you start receiving your materials, start doing a little bit more planning, always feel free to reach out to us at askyRL@yrl.ab.ca. We are very happy to help. It's kind of a chaotic June, I know, so anything we can do to help, contact us. Sharing materials. Kyle just asked, does YRL have a program folder on the internet for sharing materials made? We do have a program repository, if that is what you're asking. There have been a couple of submissions to that. specifically for SRC. We do not have one specifically for SRC, but we could add another folder in that repository, because right now it's divided by age ranges, but we could add another folder specifically for SRC. If anyone was interested in uploading things to that, that would be amazing. We love whenever anyone uploads their programs to there. So I could definitely look into creating a specific SRC folder for that. And for anyone who is new this year, yeah, on the internet, there is a program repository, and it is, I'm not sure where it's moved to now because we did just have a rearrange, but if you just search program repository in the top search bar of the internet, it should pop up. And there are some programs, templates that members of all our libraries have uploaded, kind of similar to the templates I was showing for the activities on the SRC website, information about participants, setup, that kind of thing. Super helpful. And it's really great when you guys are sharing amongst yourselves. So yes, Kyle, I will let you know because we love when you guys share to that. Okay, amazing. I will wait one more minute to see if anyone else has a question.